Mr Hardwick defends the spend of public money, and he says he would like now to draw a line under this and move on. In a statement, to draw a line under this, in a statement, the spend of public.
This is BBC from London. Normal programming has been suspended until further notice. Please stand by for more information. This is BBC from London. Normal programming has been suspended until further notice. Please stand by for more information. British Prime Minister Paul Martin has announced a nationwide lockdown for the United Kingdom. As of now, the reason for the lockdown is unknown. The United Kingdom is now under martial law. Exactly 1 hour from now, any person found not inside their home or a shelter will be shot on sight by military forces. If you are in shelter, stay there. If you are in public, the police will direct you to your nearest shelter. Do not try to resist police forces or you will be shot. Do not try to collect resources. Shelters have enough for 10,000 people for up to 14 days. If you are in your homes and require resources, put up a sign outside your home. Military forces will administer you 14 days' worth of supplies. Please await further information. Shit, this can't be happening.
We have received some disturbing news. A viral outbreak has occurred in the east of Scotland. The virus is spreading rapidly. It has already reached Glasgow, Dundee, Newcastle upon Tyne and Aberdeen. It is unknown how long the infection has been spreading, however it is estimated to have been at large for 24 to 56 hours. Infected persons have been observed to take on a terrible fever, followed by coughing up blood. After 12 to 18 hours of initial infection, an infected person's body completely shuts off, with only the brain remaining active. Infected person then stays limp for 20 to 30 minutes, before reanimating. The reanimated individual begins behaving extremely aggressively towards other people. The infection, from now on referred to as CZP03, seems to be spread through a bite from an infected individual, as well as classic means of infection such as droplet spread. If anyone you know is displaying any previously mentioned symptoms, dispose of them immediately. There is nothing you can do to save them. If you are displaying these symptoms, you must slit your throat, updates will be given on the top of the hour via radio transmission and TV broadcast. This broadcast will now cease.
We are conducting an operation to evacuate the southern United Kingdom en masse. The following areas will be evacuated to the United States of America in approximately 7 days: Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, Dorset, Hampshire, Sussex, Surrey, Kent, Essex, Wiltshire, Berkshire and Suffolk. If you are in these areas, please begin packing. Within the next 3 to 7 days you will be taken by either public transport or by military vehicle to a secure bunker. The evacuation boat will leave 2 days after 75% of people in all these areas are accounted for in any of these bunkers. The borders of all these counties will be heavily guarded by military forces. If you attempt to sneak in, you will be shot. If you are not present in a bunker 2 days after 75% of South England is accounted for in them, you will be left behind. If you attempt to get into the bunkers with symptoms of CZPO3, without being a resident of mentioned counties, without proper identification or with weapons or explosives, you will be shot. If you are not prepared for transport to the bunker, you will be left behind. Given the evacuation is a success, and the virus is under control, similar evacuations will take place in the Midlands. Remember, stay inside, lock windows, lock doors, do not look out windows, turn off all lights and ration food evenly. We will get through this together. The boats have set sail. Approximately 89%, or 17,800,000 people have been evacuated. This is roughly 25% of the population. As much of a success this was, we unfortunately must report that the virus has now spread to the West Midlands. This means the evacuation of the Midlands population is no longer safe. Scientists around the globe are currently working incredibly hard to find a cure for this terrible. What do you mean? Shit. How has this happened? We must unfortunately report that CZPO3 is now an airborne infection. This means it can be transmitted through air. Breathing in areas with infected individuals will now see you infected with CZPO3. We have no more information to bring you at this time. Unfortunately, it has come to our attention that France, Russia, China, India and the USA have all fired nuclear strikes at the United Kingdom in order to try and eliminate CZPO3 altogether. This action is justified. There will be no retaliatory strikes. This marks the end of our great nation. May your death be as dignified as possible. Strikes will impact within the next few minutes. Let us end off with the national anthem.
Mr. President, the refugees from the United Kingdom will arrive on the east coast of Virginia within the next 24 hours. Although extensive testing has been conducted pre-travel, CZP-03 is still possibly on the boat. It has also shown to now be airborne, so if it reaches the United States, it could be the end of our great nation, like what happened with the United Kingdom. This isn't a decision that should be taken lightly. I trust you will make the right decision, sir.
In time, in line and marching to the beat of Iraqi nationalism. Tens of thousands of Iraqi soldiers and volunteer militia paraded in the northern city of Mosul, showing support for President Saddam.
The emergency alert system has been activated for the East Virginia area. The boats containing roughly 17 million former British refugees will arrive on the east coast of Virginia within the next 24 hours. Although it is incredibly unlikely anyone on board is infected with CZP-03, we will quarantine as many as possible as a precautionary measure. Everyone in East Virginia must pack essential items for a 14-day desertion period. Hospitalities will be provided by the government. The refugees will be held far away from places of residency, so it is incredibly unlikely that any possible contamination will spread. Once the 14-day period is over, you will be permitted to return to your homes. Please remember this is in the interest of our great nation. Failure to comply will result in persecution.
Savages, and they got scared all over again. So they killed them all. Now, you'd think wiping out a race...
CZP-03 has broken out through the whole of the USA. Shelter immediately. Do not go outside. The U.S. government has collapsed. The zombies have taken over Washington, D.C. and are moving south. Flee south now. CZP-03 has broken out through the whole of the USA. Shelter immediately. Do not go outside. The U.S. government has collapsed. The zombies have taken over Washington, D.C. and are moving south. Flee south now. CZP-03 has broken out through the whole of the USA. Shelter immediately. Do not go outside. The U.S. government has collapsed. The zombies have taken over Washington, D.C. and are moving south. Flee south now.
It is with great sorrow that I must announce the collapse of the United Nations, as well as the entire world. No country on Earth has 0 cases of CZP-03. In the coming days, the rest of the human population will likely succumb to this virus. In these final moments of humanity, when all hope is lost, let us look back on what we have achieved, before this virus took hold of us and sealed our fates. We harnessed the power of our planet. We created amazing machines with the little resources that were given to us. We discovered how the universe works, with all its mysteries and amazement. We got to the moon. We split the atom. We have achieved so much, gotten so far. It is a crying shame that it must all end here, in the face of an unknown foe that so relentlessly sought to destroy us. This does not mean the end for humanity. The memory of us will live on this planet forever, until any race of intelligent life finds us, sees everything we have done, and stares in amazement at our feats. To everyone still alive, die a peaceful and dignified death, knowing that you were part of something great. End communication.